People call me a perfectionist, but I'm not. I'm a rightist. I do something until it's right, and then I move on to the next thing. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. A woman's heart is an ocean of deep secrets. Hope is not a strategy. Luck is not a factor. Fear is not an option. I'm king of the world. Failure is an option. Fear is not. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. Don't put limitations on yourself. Others will do that for you. I tend to like strong female characters. It just interests me dramatically. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. You're so stupid, Rose. Jack Dawson. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead. I love it when I have a nightmare. To me, that means I got my money's worth out of that 8 hours. Max Guevara. Girls kick ass, says so on a t-shirt. I came across time for you, Sarah. I love you. I always have. Kyle Reese in The Terminator. Nature's imagination, so boundless compared to our own meager human imagination. Logan Cale. If I just had my ass handed to me by a size 3, I'd be inclined to mind my own business. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves. Jake Sully. This is how it's done. When people are sitting on shit that you want, you make him your enemy. Then you're justified in taking it. From Avatar. Every time you dive, you hope you'll see something new, some new species. Sometimes the ocean gives you a gift, sometimes it doesn't. If you wait until the right time to have a child, you'll die childless. And I think filmmaking is very much the same thing. You just have to take the plunge and just start shooting something even if it's bad. Nature's imagination, so boundless compared to our own meager human imagination. People call me a perfectionist, but I'm not. I'm a rightist. I do something until it's right, and then I move on to the next thing. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. I'm a storyteller. That's what exploration really is all about. Going to places where others haven't been and returning to tell a story they haven't heard before. Hope is not a strategy. Luck is not a factor. Fear is not an option. There are many talented people who haven't fulfilled their dreams because they overthought it, or they were too cautious and were unwilling to make the leap of faith. It took me a long time to realize that you have to have a bit of an interlanguage with actors. You have to give them something that they can act with. It'll be all of our efforts together. It won't ever be exactly the way I imagined it. And that is, I think, an important lesson as well, is that in any group enterprise, it's going to be the sum total of the group. You have to not listen to the naysayers, because there will be many, and often they'll be much more qualified than you and cause you to sort of doubt yourself. I certainly didn't think of myself as gifted. The standards for being gifted in my environment were if you were good in Little League or if you were good in football. I love short trips to New York. To me, it is the finest 3-day town on earth. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. Don't put limitations on yourself. Others will do that for you. The film industry is about saying no to people, and inherently you cannot take no for an answer. Every time you dive, you hope you'll see something new, some new species. Sometimes the ocean gives you a gift, sometimes it doesn't. I had read tons of science fiction. I was fascinated by other worlds, other environments. For me, it was fantasy, but it was not fantasy in the sense of pure escapism. Our only competitors are your past achievements. Sometimes your whole life boils down to one insane move. Any direct experience that I have with indigenous peoples and their plights may feed into the nature of the story I choose to tell. In fact, it almost certainly will. The magic doesn't come from within the director's mind. It comes from within the hearts of the actors. My mother was a housewife, but she was also an artist. My father was an electrical engineer. I think people had somehow gotten the sense that we have explored everything. When that isn't the case, we know so little about the ocean, and so much of it is being destroyed. The future is not set. There is no fate but what we make. Inspiration can hit you in the head at any time, in any context. It could happen in a conversation. Talking to someone at a party, you can get an idea. But you've got to remember those inspirations. Here's my philosophy in life. If there's a fire, you put it out. If there's a flood, you fill sandbags and you build a dike. You roll up your sleeves and you get to work. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. Don't put limitations on yourself. Others will do that for you. Nature's not our enemy, it's our sustenance, and we need it. And we need nature healthy for us to be healthy and to survive long term. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success.